Yes, people, welcome back to Premsy TV. I know it's been a while. I apologize. I've had loads of commitments, my birthday, everything. Like I said, this isn't a full-time thing for me. So I do apologize to people that have been waiting and I've fucked up and I've not give you the time that you've needed. So I am going to try to be as more consistent on a regular basis now. But like I said, this isn't my full-time job. So you're going to have to bear with me. I'm going to try to give you as much as I can. Obviously, I've been having loads of messages, people messaging me saying, where have you been? Where's the show been? Or whatnot, because it's been nearly coming up to 2 weeks now. But yeah, I've had loads of commitments on. I just wanted to say I apologise straight away. And I apologise to you, Tom, as well. I know you've been waiting in the wings as well, having to deal with my commitments. But big up.
No,
How are you been?
likewise, you know me, I'm still getting familiarized with this study life. So a lot of the time I'm thinking I'm available when I'm, and we're both learning, aren't we? We're learning about the scheduling side of this stuff and a lot of the stuff that people don't see kind of off the camera. But definitely it was a good feeling to see, whilst we have been kind of down and not doing the episodes, people like similar with yourself dropping me messages or calling me up saying, yo, what's good? Is the show still going on? Like, so it was good to get a feel for, how the people them out there are feeling and the anticipation. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, I'm feeling good. I'm glad to be back. I wouldn't lie and say that the results have been how I would have loved for them to have been while we've been gone. City are not maybe in where I thought they would have been a couple of weeks back, but we're still here. We're still blessed. So I'm ready to go.
That's good, man. Well, we've not had much Premier League games. We've had a few. There's a few talking points. The first thing I just want to say is good riddance to Mike Dean, first of all, though. Thank fuck that he's leaving the Premier League.
Silence.
Hopefully, it's not true that he's sitting up there in VAR and giving all the decisions against us, because we know, you see, I told you to watch that clip of him. Did you watch it? Of him celebrating that Tottenham goal.
I didn't watch it, but
it's all a madness. It's all a madness. But putting Mike Dean to the side, there's a few other bits and bobs that we want to indulge in. So yeah, it's going to be an eventful show. I'm going to see if I could try to, obviously we've been discussing to try to get more guests on the show, call-ins and stuff like that. So we're going to give it a go today. Obviously, can't promise it's going to work because it's the first time. Obviously, if it doesn't, we do apologise. If it does, we should have a special guest coming on to give the thoughts on the title race. But yeah, Tom, first thing I want to ask you, there's a big, massive hoo-ha about Arsenal Football Club, Arsenal players, Arsenal fans celebrating their wins like we won the Champions League. Where do you stand on it? I'll give you my opinion shortly, but I want to know, you're a City fan, you're used to success. Obviously, where do you stand on it? Do you think it's right them celebrating? Are you not really asked, or how do you see it?
I think it's important, man. Like, I think if anything, something I've seen that's new for me as a City fan, or relatively new, last 5 or 10 years, is the effect of how things change when you become a club that's expected to win all the time. I understand where people are coming from. I understand the idea of, well, for these big clubs, shouldn't be celebrating every win like you've won the title, because you've got expectations and it's a long season and all the rest of it. But back in the day, I remember it weren't that long ago that City weren't who we are today, and you was going into any game thinking of fucking a win is something we'd be celebrating. Because I remember the season we had Stuart Pearce as manager, having a season ticket and going to watch City break the record for like the longest time without scoring at home, or longest time without winning, like months and months and months of not seeing your team win. Do you know what I mean? So today, for it to just be the norm where we win, if we win, we don't really celebrate. If we lose, we're all complaining and pissed on and wanting to sack everyone. I don't think that's the healthiest way to have to be as fans. Do you know what I mean? You should be celebrating every win, because you're going to feel every loss. You know what I mean? Yeah, I mean, I understand with Arsenal where
this is what I just want to know in it, obviously, because my opinion is a bit up and down on it, but I just want to just know, because what I've been seeing and reading, Tom, it's been a madness. Like,
but people are hating
like this here, Ashley Young, him, Ruben Neves, players are now starting to come out and pinpoint Arsenal for the way they're celebrating. And it's like,
what is it that they're feeling disrespected as the opposition players? Like they're feeling like they're doing too much in their face, or are they just trying to throw shade?
I think that's what it is. I think what it is I think the feeling that's going on in and around the club at the moment, obviously with the players and the fans, Aaron Ramsdale, connecting with the fans, and that's been a big part of it, because obviously I go to the games, I'm there, and he does bring that energy to the fans and players, and it's good. And I think the fans, because they haven't had that connection with the players for such a long time, I think they're relishing in it. And I think that they're seeing progressive steps, because look, Tom, as you know, man's a massive Arteta doubter. Doubted him. Like I said, yeah, he's still got to get top 4 for me in it. Like I am now starting to see progressive steps. Progressive steps are getting made, and I'm happy with them progressive steps, because I'm not a fool to just sit there and think, right, I'm not seeing no improvements when I clearly can see them, just because I had a certain view on Arteta. Like my view's not much change. I still don't think he's the guy who's going to win us Champions Leagues and Premier Leagues. But right now, if he can get us into that Champions League, then I'll give it him. Do you know what I'm saying? So the fans, the way they're seeing it is they're seeing, I think at the start of the season, they didn't have a hope in hell to get top 4. I think that was in nobody's mind, especially after the first 3 games of the season. No points on the board. Oh, it was turmoil. Absolutely turmoil. But in the senses of coming up to the last 10 games of the season, he's knocked it on its head in a sense of the results and the performances towards the back end of them 10 games as well. So you are seeing them signs. However, you still got to get over the line, because obviously at Man Utd looking an early man, and I think where Abong Lahore and Ashley Young, Neves, I think where they're coming from, I think they're trying to just basically say, celebrate like that when you win the league, or celebrate like that when you win the Champions League, or celebrate like that. Obviously, it could be a bit of sour grapes, isn't it? Because you just got beat or whatnot. Personally, I don't have an issue with it. You get me? I don't have an issue with it, because I'm a match-going fan. You get me? So if when I go, bro, whatever my thoughts is about the club, Arteta, anybody, it goes out the window as soon as I walk through that stadium. Get me? I'm supporting my team, my players. I'm supporting everything to do with Arsenal there. I'm supporting Arteta on that day because he's the Arsenal manager. I can have my opinion and thoughts, which in a sense means that I think one way, but now we're seeing signs of improvement. It's daft not to enjoy it. And I also believe that the Amazon documentary that's getting made, I think that's got a big part to play as well. Trust me, believe what I'm saying.
Okay, I could see that. I remember the sorry. I remember the Amazon documentary at City, you know, in a couple of the big seasons that we had. But I think for me, I don't know, I can't really relate to people having a problem with people celebrating. Obviously, if the celebrations are disrespectful, or if players are receiving them as disrespectful because you're doing a lot and you're doing it in my face or in an away stadium in a certain way, like in front of the other fans, that's a different conversation a little bit, where then the other players, the other fans, whatever, have got a right to feel away and root against you. But if it's coming from what you're saying, like, nah, we're not personally offended or disrespected. It's just a matter of us feeling like, why are you getting carried away with yourself? Like, it's just 3 points. I don't think that don't make sense to me. You know, like you said, I think we go to the games as fans, wanting those moments, wanting to be passionate, wanting to be able to be excited and enjoy the process. Like, because at the end of the day, like you said, at the end of the season, either Arsenal are going to get the top 4 or they ain't. But if you don't, then having not celebrated, like, you know, and not enjoyed these moments along the way, what did you gain? If anything, you just lost out on getting to have them moments while it was good. Do you know what I mean?
No,
And if you do get there, then you'll think, well, why did I not celebrate the whole time? So for me, from an Arsenal fan's perspective, it's not about nobody else. You know, it's about us and whether it feels good and feels right to us as fans. And it feels like there's a good energy there at the moment. Like you said, you can feel there's a young squad and that they're quite connected with the fan base, and there's a real kind of chemistry and they're bouncing off each other. And, you know, the players are probably getting more kind of gassed and starting to feel themselves and feel like this, allow themselves to believe that this, you know, we're doing something special here, starting to go into every game saying, let's win this one as well. We can win this. In fact, we're going to win this, like starting to expect that they're going to win, but not in a kind of City expect we're going to win way, where now we expect it so much we don't enjoy it when you do. It's just like, okay, yep, City are 3-0 up. I can turn the telly off, crack on with what I'm doing because it's job done. Nice day at the office. You know what I mean? Fuck that. Like, if this is Arsenal's moment to enjoy winning again and going into games thinking, oh, we're not going to do it again, and then getting another win and proving everybody wrong time and time again, you should enjoy that, the players and the fans.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
See, with me, like I said, is with in the aspect before now, obviously going to the games now, there's a total difference to when there was Wenger in fans and Wenger out fans, and there's different. With Arteta, it's not so there's so many people there screaming, "Oh, Arteta out, Arteta out, Arteta out."
Yeah.
It's just the opinion of certain people, certain strong characters, certain people that have seen Arsenal be successful, see Arsenal in a direction, seen Arsenal leave Highbury to go and compete. So our expectations, obviously, every human being is different. I respect everyone's opinion. But the difference is with the fan base and the club now is, which I must say is a positive sign, is that regardless if you're, like, for example, you got myself, people like Dan Potts, Turkish, that weren't the biggest advocates of Arteta, you get me? But yet we can still now sit there, stand there, have conversations, cheer with people that were fully Arteta in. So it's not like there's a rift between the fan base. It's just people that certain people have certain opinions and certain people do. But it's not like it's become toxic to me. What I've seen at the game, when we're there, everyone's supporting the team. Everyone's behind the team. We lose, everyone's gutted. Regardless if you're Arteta in or Arteta out, you're gutted.
Yeah.
When we win, everyone's buzzing. And again, like I said, I think the Amazon documentary might have parts to play in it. I think Ramsdale's had a massive part to play in the whole fan connection situation.
Tell me more about that, bro. Tell me more about that, because I don't know as much
like
about
Aaron Ramsdale, since he's come into the team, he's always pissing off the opposing fans, which then makes him love to us because we see that in him and we like it. So we draw to him even more. I'm just giving you a few things off him. We'll score a goal. He'll knee slide to us. He'll, you know what I mean? We'll sing his name.
Yeah.
He's buzzing.
Yeah.
The connection that we have with this goalie, we've not had for a very, very long time, if ever, to be fair.
David Seaman days.
Yeah. But it's a different kind of connection. Like, even the players now is rubbing off onto them as well. You get me? Like, Leno's a shy goalkeeper. You get me? He made a world-class save. Well, world-class, but top save in it. To me, it kept us winning the game, so it was world-class. You get me? But he didn't really want to take his plaudits. Ramsdale came over off the bench. He wasn't even involved in the game, but still travelled down with the team to watch the game. Put his arm around him and told him, right, come and get your plaudits. You get me? Like, it does help with the mentality of the players. You get me? So I'll be honest with you, man. Like, the things are looking up, but it can come crashing down real quick if that top four doesn't get got, because this is what I am in it. If I see you get that top four, I'm happy to go in it. You don't get that top four, it just defeats the objects in it. Did you hear?
All right, let me ask you a question on celebrating then, which is kind of related but kind of not. Like, on the other side of it, so if they were speaking from a place of, we don't, you know, calling out Arsenal fans and players because they feel like they're being disrespected as players or whatever because of they're doing too much. I don't think that is the case. But how do you feel? Do you feel like there is such thing as doing too much when it comes to celebrating? Or do you feel like you've earned the right? Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, have you earned the right when you've scored to express yourself in that moment, however you see fit, as long as you're not literally, you know, doing a madness, abusing someone or something. But if it's just raw passion on the pitch, like, I just think about that Adebayor celebration against Arsenal. Obviously, I know that's going to be received differently for you as it was for me. I think we was both at that game together, wasn't we?
Yeah, the Adebayor. Yeah.
But for me as a City fan, obviously that was like just raw expression of just like passion, frustration, because the Arsenal fans have been doing the most the whole game to him. So when he scored, obviously that was just passion coming out. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Same way when Rooney scored that over a deck against City and he came and done that in front of the City fans in the corner. It's like, you've earned the right to do that because you just scored an absolute incredible goal. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think kind of go on. What do you think?
I'm trying to answer Mike's question here. Will you be Arteta in if we don't finish top four? No, I wouldn't be Arteta in if we don't finish top four. That's my honest opinion, because a man can't not fucking get us top four for 3 years on a bounce in it. Like, for me, that's not good enough. For you, it might be, and you might still see the plan and all of that. But this is a time where we've got most of the advantage in our favour. We're sitting pretty. We've got games in hand. We've got a decent running. we've only playing 1 game a week. You get me? We've hardly got any injuries. And if this man can't get us that 4th spot with other teams like Tottenham, I know they've had 2 wins on a bounce now, but they've been up and down most of the season. United have not been in and around there. Chelsea, obviously, they're grinding out results, but they're not so far off. Why should we drop out of this position now with 10 games to go? You get me? Because a top-class manager will get over that line. And the bottom line of it is managers sick and tired of not winning the Premier League for fucking nearly 18 to 19 years. It's going to be the longest period Arsenal have not won a league for, which is a mad thing. So all good. Yeah, I'm happy with the progress Mikel Arteta has made in certain aspects of late. However, another top-class manager can come in and build on top of that. Do you know what I mean? Take that forward, moving forward. But if he does get top 4, I'll happily give him another chance to go in another season. I'll be happy that we got 4th because we've not been in the Champions League for 5 years, and I'll be relishing going abroad, supporting my team. But I want to see progressive steps. I want to see him then going on and only challenging, not only just having a top 4 battle, because that's not where I want to see Arsenal Football Club. I've seen Arsenal at the top before, and I want to see us there again. Did you hear what I'm saying? So I would give him another opportunity if he finishes 4th. If he doesn't finish 4th, not for me.
Yeah,
that's just as. And I don't think you can't get any fairer than that, bro. To be honest with you.
Yeah.
I've been here for a while and finished 8th twice.
Yeah, I think they will keep him if he finishes 5th, but maybe not, because sometimes as a manager it can bite you in the ass, like even like raising the expectations by doing better than what was expected, because now everyone's got a taste of getting 4th. If you were to throw it away now, it would be seen as, in the perspective, as like, oh, he's a nearly man, do you know what I mean? He didn't have what it took. And they might think, right, this is a good squad here, we've seen some potential under Arteta, let's get rid of him. Whereas if they just steadily moved up to 5th or 6th this season, or been in 6th and got 5th on the last day, sometimes that looks better on the manager than being in 4th place for the last 10 weeks and bottling it. Do you know what I mean? Are we overachieving with our limited squad and with our top striker leaving mid-season?
Yeah, so if you see, I'm not going to lie, we're definitely overachieving full stop, because at the start of the season, I didn't see us getting Arteta before the season kicks off. I didn't see Arteta getting us top 4. Yeah, this is before we've had the 3 defeats. After them 3 fucking defeats, bro, I swear to God, man wasn't happy. You get me? Vexed. Start to the season, no points, bottom of the table. You get me thinking, right, fuck me, man, sideways. Like, this guy's just got to go. Obviously, I've had my opinion on him. I've still got an opinion on him. But, like I said, it's man seeing them progressive steps getting made now. So I think he is overachieving in the position that he is with the players that we got right now, not having a clinical striker. But he's got to do it in it. He's got to achieve it in it. Like, it's all good saying that he's all right now. We've still got 10 games left. He's got to get that 4th spot to say, yeah, he has overachieved this season in a sense. But by the club standards, that is not even overachieving. Like, that should just be bog standard. Does that make sense? But because we've not been in the Champions League for 5 years, a lot of fans' ambitions and aspirations have changed to now qualifying for the Champions League. Like I said, we got rid of Wenger, one of our greatest ever managers, if not the greatest. Get me? For what? Finishing 4th.
Yeah.
Get me? So you've got to see some progressive steps. You've got to see something to believe in it. I'm starting to see something that I can believe in now a little bit, because we're playing good football. We're getting the results when we wouldn't normally get the results. You get me? And when the pressure's on and them early games come, it just doesn't normally happen for us. And now I'm seeing a sign where it is happening a little bit. So I got to give the man credit and I got to give him props, but I'll give him that proper credit at the end of the season when he's in that spot, in it.
Can I ask you a quick question?
God, man.
If someone told you, you could know for certain what the outcome is going to be, either path A or path B, and one of the options, they get rid of Arteta. Let's say you finish 4th at the end of this season, one of the options, you get rid of Arteta this season, and they get some top manager in who's been there and done it and proven, and in the space of 2 years he wins the league. But then it's a bit like a Leicester situation where there's a good side, they get to they kind of surprise everyone in the league, and then it tails off, and then 3, 4, 5 seasons they're back to 4th, 5th place. So that's option one, is you win the league soon, like in the next 2 years, but then it just kind of not evaporates, but you know what I mean, loses momentum. Or if you had to wait over another 5 years to win the league, 7 years, let's say, until you win the next league, but you then had a 8, 9, 10-year run of being like a top dog, competing for the title every season, winning one, win another one the next year, lose. Like, would you rather wait longer and have a consistent spell back at the top, or just get a title sooner and then the team to kind of break apart and have to rebuild and go after it again? I know this is hypotheticals. I'm just interested to know, what is it you're yearning for more? Is it just one?
I hear what you're saying. I mean, with me, obviously, the future's not told, innit? You got to use a bit of common sense with it as well. In 7 years' time, the Premier League is going to probably be more competitive than it's probably ever been in its life. So there's no guarantee that even if you're challenging, you're guaranteed going to win the league. And say, for example, I don't take this Premier League in 2 years' time and I wait 7 years and fucking I do there. But I just know that I rather have trophies now while I'm alive. You get me? I might be dead in 5 years' time, fam. You get me? I want to see shit winning now. You get me? Because you could change your philosophy. You could change your system after that. Like, you're forgetting we're not a Leicester City. You get me? We're Arsenal Football Club. We're big boys. You get me? When we win that first Premier League after all this time, we should hope to see the squad getting invested in properly. Big players wanting to come to us, because it's not like we're a joke football club as a brand. Do you know what I mean? As an institution, where Leicester, it was a shock. You get me? Realistically, when they were going to go and sign players the following season, how many of them players thought, you know what, they're going to win it again? Not many, in it, realistically. So
a lot of them left as well, didn't they?
I rather fucking, I'd rather win it. I'd rather win, bro. Like I said, bro, like 5 years and that, bro. In them times, bro. So I'm saying City could win a couple more Premier Leagues. Next thing you know, they're overtaking our 13, and it's all a mad thing. And then with the fourth biggest club, you know what I mean? It's a joke.
Well, speaking of City and trying to get to them numbers and get ourselves in that conversation, you know, just a couple of weeks back, it looked like this was pretty home and dry, or it felt like for a lot of people that we were pretty much home and dry for another Premier League trophy in the trophy cabinet for City. And now, you look at that. You know, we've dropped 4 points in that last 6, and that 4 points is what's brought us back to being within 1 point of each other. Now, I think that tells you that to a large extent, the games in hand was distorting how we was all looking at the table. Do you know what I mean? Because there was a big gap there, but a big part of that gap was the fact that City had points and then the extra games that hadn't been played as well. But now City have dropped the points and we're within 1 point of each other, and we've played the same amount. I'm not as confident as I was a couple of weeks ago. I'm not gonna lie. I've been wanting.
Go on, Tom.
I was just gonna say, like, a big part of the inspiration for wanting to start calling people up and getting some outside opinions on the show was really wanting to know, like, how a Liverpool fan's feeling right now. Because I know, as a City fan, for the first time this season, I'm a little bit on edge. Like, could this season just kind of peter out and Liverpool end up being the ones that win 3 trophies and we don't win anything? Because that can still happen. Do you know what I mean? Just because we were kind of in pole position.
I feel like I've had this conversation with Kish as well before about he's a massive Liverpool and Klopp fan, and obviously I'm a massive Guardiola and City fan. And I was explaining to him the reason that I'm probably a massive Guardiola and City fan is because when I used to enjoy watching Arsenal play football, we used to play the best football going. Get me? Passing, keeping possession, ticky-tacky, all of that. And that suits Guardiola's style. And obviously, with him, he thinks that I don't really rate Liverpool. It's not that I don't rate them. Like, I think that they're sick. I just feel that Pep Guardiola and the whole City team has too much in the locker for Liverpool. Yeah, I know they've got a bit of depth, and I know they've got a bad boy manager in Klopp, and there is still in every competition. But I just think that extra bit of depth in the team helps City a lot more, especially if they're challenging on all fronts as well. Where Liverpool now, they have got Luis Diaz in, they could bring in Konate off the bench, they could bring on Jota or whatnot, Firmino. However, I still think City's squad all round is still better than Liverpool's, and I just prefer that the way they play football. And I think this year I can't see Pep Guardiola slipping it. I'm telling you, I can't see it.
Yeah, I don't. I've still, if I had to put my money down, I'd still go with City. But like I say, I'm a little bit more concerned now. And that, you know, that City Liverpool game at the Etihad is gonna be a big one, isn't it? Because if
That's
City
the
win
reason
that,
why I still think it's City is like the neck and neck, but having that home advantage is massive. Do you know that
but that's
one
what I
game?
guess this is okay. So this is I don't know if I asked you, and maybe we said this off mic before or on the Instagram live, but what do you think is more of an advantage? City having the home advantage in that head-to-head game that's still to come, or Liverpool having the hunter advantage, the chaser, the team that's not the team in pole position, and you're the one that's going after it? Because in the running, I've heard even certain players say before, Gary Neville, and like sometimes they prefer to be the team that's on the chase because you're kind of playing without pressure or with less pressure. You know, Liverpool are coming to the Etihad. It's like, right, it's your stadium, your favourites, it's your news kind of thing. You know what I mean? We're gonna come here and we're gonna try and
Yeah,
like
it does
that
work hand
does
in
give you a
hand.
bit of an advantage sometimes in a weird way, even though obviously having more points is the advantage.
Yeah,
There is
the
something to
fans
be
as
said
well,
there.
man. Fans make a difference, though, Tom. Like that 12th man, best believe we make a difference. And trust me, I just feel like, I don't get me wrong, I think Liverpool play absolutely brilliant football, decisive, they're fast. They like you just as soon as they get the ball, they're so direct, it's unreal. You get me? Where City, they're more build up play rather than so direct in a sense. So both got their own style of play. Both are brilliant teams, the best two teams in the world for me right about now. I just feel that City just edge it a little bit, and I think the home fans playing at home, because it's not like these guys don't know how to deal with the pressure. They're the champions of England already. Do you know what I mean? So we're talking about proper model professionals. So I could just see City getting over the line with it, bro, Tom. I know it's going to be squeaky bum time most times because you can't be giving up points to Palace or whatnot. But I think that was it. Now I think they'll have to wake up from that, and I think this last little 10 games that's left, I think it's just going to go down to that one game. And I think in that game specifically, I think City will have the advantage. If they don't lose, I think it's just going to come to that game for me. Whoever wins that game will win the league. You know what I mean?
That's going to be a big one.
Yeah. I was going to see if...
should we see if we can get our first phone-in guest?
Let's give him a
yeah.
bell. Let's see.
Yeah.
Because this is the topic that we want to get him on. Just give us a second, people. Shall I have a look at some of these comments on here?
Yes, so let me have a look at what the people are saying. City lost to Arsenal semi-final at FA Cup, Community Shield, and even lost to Scum in the UCL Semi League. So they have better jobs in the squad that will cost them. I think we do probably have a few people in the squad that have have bottled it a little bit in them big games. But also, I think the City fans, we're still trying to rid ourselves of this disposition. Oh, I can't hear you, Primsy. Oh, you got me muted.
Yeah, just on mute for a second.
Okay, right, sorry, bro. Go on.
Special guest. We've got Big Steve in the building. Tell me if you can hear him.
Big Steve.
Yes, man. How's it going?
Can you hear him?
I can hear him. Can you hear me, Big Steve?
Yeah, I can hear you, pal.
Big stuff. Big
quality.
Stuff. Right, we've called you to get your opinions on the title race because I remember going to London with you, Steve, and I was saying to you, it's in the bag for City. And I remember you saying to me, it's in the bag for City. No, it's not really looking like it's in the bag. I personally think it is. I just want me and Tom, obviously, this is Tom, fellow City fan. I'm going to have to link you up with him from Manchester as well. Migrated over to London. So I'll have to link you up with him. But I just want to get where you stand on the title race right now.
Yeah, man. First of all, I thought this was Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. You rang me up for the question at the end.
Yo, the only thing I don't want to say, I know I get cancelled.
It's mad, man. But no, listen, it's going down to the wire. We know that we've let it slip last few weeks. We've let Liverpool get back in. It's our own fault. We know that. But we've got no better manager and no better set of players to turn this around. We're in a good position. We're top of the league by a point. We're in the FA Cup semi-final. So as far as season goes, we're in a good position. But the way we're playing on the pitch is not as fluid as we have been doing. So, to be honest, the typical City mentality from the old main road days kicks in a bit. You start panicking, but that's natural. But we've just got to do what Manchester City do. We've just got to make sure that we get that engine going again and take it up to the next level and just get the results. We've got a massive month coming up in April. These are the games that you live for. These are the games you breathe for. This is what football's about. This is where you go to the stadium and you can feel it in your stomach, innit, where you know you're playing for something. And look, we're privileged right now. We're going to these games, but I can't lie, my arse is going a bit.
Yeah, I've been saying the exact same thing, Steve.
Go on, Tom. Ask Steve that question that you asked him. He would be better suited to answer it because he's a City fan.
You know what? I was about to ask him another question, so you've thrown me now. What was the question that I asked you?
So the question in regards to who do you think's better suited with the pressure?
Oh, yeah. Like, do you think there's even, we've got the advantage, you know, we're playing at home against them and we got a point on them. But do you think there's something sometimes, especially I guess for City, you know, if you're the team that's doing the chasing, the pressure's off a little bit compared to the team that's being chased. And then as City fans, like you said, we've already got this disposition from years of being let down. So when it feels like we're the ones that are being chased and it's ours to throw away, you know, we was playing them at home and stuff, it almost feels like that's putting the pressure on us more so than them.
No, yeah, I agree 100%. I've said it before. I prefer to be chasing. I don't know what it is. I think whenever we've been chasing in the past, we've never lost. We've always chased them down and won when it's been close. I think when you're chasing, I don't know, the pressure's different. When we're ahead now, we're always looking over our shoulder. As soon as they win, the pressure's right on you for the game. You go to the game, you can feel it in the crowd. Listen, they've got the momentum, and I always talk about rhythm and momentum in a title race. And obviously, I've never been in many title races up until this last decade, and it's a big part. Once you've got the momentum, and once you've got the rhythm, the fan base is behind you. Even the fans get the momentum and the rhythm; they can sense it as well. And at the minute we sit here, we're sort of stop start. So we're caught a bit in the headlights, and Liverpool's a big old machine coming for us. So it's going to be interesting, man. But I think we'll get there.
Do you not think the home advantage is good though for you, Steve? Because I think that's where it's going to be won or lost at the Etihad.
Listen, against Liverpool last time when we needed to win, we was in more or less the same situation when we played them last time when we won and Leroy scored. We were 1 point ahead. If we do that this time and we get it over the line and we win, it puts 4 point gap between us, and I think that's enough for us to get it done. But we've got FA Cup semi-finals, Champions Leagues, Madrid. Atletico's not a great team, but they're physical. There's all sorts of mad conundrums going around in my head at the minute. What could happen? So it's crazy.
Do you fear Liverpool more though? Do you feel like they've with them strengthening with Luis Diaz and now Jota and whatnot? They got Firmino. They've got more options. Are both of you? Are you more fearful of Liverpool? This is a question to both of you because
I respect Liverpool. I respect Jurgen Klopp and I respect his team. I think the levels that Man City have took it to and Liverpool have took it to is beyond anything you've ever seen. If you look at the points, 90 odd points, 100 points, things like that, you've got to respect it. And listen, we all have football banter, but you know, you've got to respect a side like that. And I think without Pep Guardiola, that Liverpool side doesn't get to the heights it gets. And without Jurgen Klopp, Pep Guardiola doesn't get us to the heights. I think both teams have pushed each other along the road. So for me, if Liverpool win the league and they catch us, I'm going to stand there and go, you know what, fair enough. I can handle that. I can handle losing the league to a team that deserve it. Do you know what I mean? And they are a great side.
Go on, Tom.
I've not got much to add to that. I think you hit the nail on the head there. But I do have a question for you, Steve. Just quickly. I know Premsy said to me a few weeks in a row before this. He was saying, "Oh, you know, Champions League going to be a distraction? You know, Champions League is the last kind of trophy in the trophy cabinet for City. That's kind of the main focus now. Is that gonna?" And I've always kind of said no. Like I feel like Pep look like that. You know, the squad's going to be very focused, and they know that staying on top in the league and having momentum in the league, like you said, having winning rhythm is only going to help in the Champions League. But now as we are getting kind of losing a bit of that rhythm in the league, and do you think that that's playing a part, one? And two, if you had to choose one or the other this season, which one would you go for, Champions League or the Prem?
I think the games are coming thick and fast, and obviously you're playing every like 3 or 4 days, so I think it does upset the rhythm. I think we will get that back. But on the Champions League thing, if you'd have asked me this question last season, I'd have said the Premier League all the time, because Man City fans have got this. We had this weird thing about the Champions League, like we didn't really care about it. But I can't lie, after last season, Chelsea, Porto being in that stadium, losing the game, walking over the bridge at the end, listening to the "We Are the Champions" and the fireworks, it left a bit of a sore taste in my mouth. And I thought, you know what, we need to win this now. So if you're asking me, would I swap the Champions League this season for the Prem? 100%, and then get that off our back. Yeah. And then, but there's no better running than the Premier League. Let me tell you, when you're going week in, week out. This week I drove to Southampton, I drove to Crystal Palace on a Monday night. I love it, man. I love it. And at the end of the day, when you're following a team over a 38-game season and you finally get over the line and lift that trophy, there's no better feeling. But I want to feel like Champions League. I want to feel it.
I want to feel like yous. How about that? I want to feel like yous. How about that? This is why I have all of these problems. No, but I want to feel like that now. Like, see these man here, Liverpool and City, there complaining about, oh, would you rather win the Champions League or the Premier League and that? We're not top everything. We're not top everything. Scraping to get fourth. Like, this is what I mean, man. Like, but the one thing I must say, though, I think Liverpool got a squeeze, though, Steve, with Benfica in the Champions League. I think you've got a much harder draw.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, we know about Atletico. And the teams we're struggling against at the minute are the ones that set up in a low block and don't want to come out. And Atletico Madrid are great at that. So I'm expecting it to be tough. I'm expecting them to rattle us up a bit. But listen, we're not Champions League novices anymore. We've been to Real Madrid and won. We've been to Bayern Munich and won. We've been to Lisbon and Panem. We've been to Dortmund, PSG and won. So there's no excuses. We've got the best manager in the world and a fantastic squad. So Atletico Madrid, I'm taking it. We've just got to go there over 2 legs, not do something stupid, and just get the job done.
I tell you what, I don't want. I don't want Liverpool in the final.
It's going to happen. It's going to happen, I think.
I can't deal with that. I can't deal with walking through Paris.
And they're going to need that trophy to win the quadruple.
Oh, let's not let it happen, Steve, man.
I'm trying my best, man. I don't think it is. But
I don't think so either. Let's stay positive.
Brilliant.
100%, man.
Right. Brilliant, Steve. Thank you very much for coming on. I do appreciate it, my brother. Obviously, I'm not going to hold you too much. I'm not going to hold you too much. You get me? I'm going to link you two up so I can walk down fucking Albert Square with the Mitchell brothers. You get me? My brother. Love.
Nice one, bro.
Bye.
But yeah, so you hear it there, people. Big Steve's thoughts on City and Liverpool. Does that give you some more confidence as well, hearing a fellow City fan?
He speaks
bum time.
He hit the nail on the head, really. Like, I think I'm feeling kind of the same as he is. He speaks very well on City, doesn't he? You know, he's got
unbelievable. You know what? And he's just a proper genuine man as well. And he's a proper football man, Big Steve. I must say that myself. Proper football man, you get me? Everything about football, he'll give you all. But I just had to skip the little Mitchell brothers comments. I've seen people in the comments saying the two baldies are on job and that. You get me? You tell loud man in the comments.
Well, I think he said, to be fair, that he's got a number one as well, and it weren't a hating thing. So
he is a number one.
Love the craze and love to everyone. But I don't think there's much more to add on the City and Liverpool topic, unless you've got anything to add. I think we just got to see how it pans out.
I think Liverpool City, I think it's just going to go right down to the wire, and we're just going to have to wait until that game at the Etihad for realistically anyone to then have a proper solid opinion on who's going to win it, because they're just both as good as each other right now. I think for me, City edge it a little bit, but we're just going to have to take it on there. The one thing I do want to move on though, Tom.
Yes.
Do you think Everton are going to get relegated?
More squeaky bum times.
They're in real danger, bro.
They are in danger. That was a big big win against Newcastle. That was a huge one. If they'd lost to Newcastle,
he broke his hand, didn't he? He broke his hand in that game as well.
I like it. I like the passion. I fuck with Lamps, man. I fuck with the way that he's been dealing with it. I think even as the performances on the pitch have been terrible, and it's made us question like who he is as a guy, I think the way he's carried himself, he's always seemed composed. He's never seemed like super flustered to me. I know other people have been saying, oh, you know, whatever interview that was he gave after that game when they got smacked up before Newcastle, and people were saying, is he lose, whatever. But I didn't see that. I just felt like he was composed and confident enough that he was able to just kind of be honest to the situation. And I think that Newcastle win there is probably the win that will kind of keep them up. I think that will have been a bit of a, I think Burnley, Leeds, some of them other teams down there will have been watching the game saying Newcastle are already gone. We need Everton to lose this so that they're down here in the mix with us. And I think Everton getting that win, if you're a Burnley watching that game, it's a bit of a gut punch, you know what I mean? Because if you have you got the table there again? Can we have a look at the bottom end?
Oh, I haven't got the bottom end up there. I think.
Haven't you? Shall I have a look on mine? Go on. You let me know your thoughts, and I'll.
But I just think as well with Everton, I think Lampard shot himself in the foot a little bit with some of the comments he's made after the presser about the players and the lack of their motivation and will to do it. And I think with him not obviously having no windows or anything to change that around, he's got to cope with these players now until the end of the season, which is a big part of whether he's going to face the drop or not, because their away form is absolutely horrendous, Everton's. And the back line is fucking dreadful, Tom, man. I'm telling you, their back line is horrendous. Like that Keane that's there, he's crazy. Got the table up here. Well, look, they're like 2 games in hand, innit? They got 2 games in hand, and the 3 points clear from the drop. That is mad. They've won 1 in the last 5.
Yeah, but like you said, to have what? So what have they got on Burnley though? I need to zoom in a bit more. Is there a way for me to zoom in? Burnley, 27 games, 21 points. So they got 4 points on Burnley, but on the same amount of games, and then they've got 2 games in hand on Watford and 3 points on them. Yeah, I don't think either of them are going to make up that gap. I don't think Burnley are going to make up 4 points on Everton, but 4 points isn't a lot to make up, to be fair. It isn't. But look at Leeds, bro. That's who you got to be looking at. You got to be looking at Leeds and your Brentfords. Because actually, if Burnley win their 3 games in hand and Everton win their 3 games in hand on Leeds, then guess who's in the bottom 3? Leeds are. So actually, no, probably not. But at the end of the day, we've learned our lesson this season for like with the Liverpool and City thing. I know it's a bit different at that end of the table because you expect teams to win every game, but stranger things could happen than over the course of the season, Burnley winning, you know, those games that they've got in hand on Leeds and pulling themselves out that. But there's too many different factors that would cause Everton to go down. Would not only have to get caught up by Burnley or Watford, which would already be flipping a challenge in itself, but then they would have to do worse than Leeds and Brentford, who are both
in a worse position. Next fixtures are, because see Everton, yeah. I have a feeling. Trust me, I just have a mad feeling about Everton, Tom. I swear down, because I think they're shit.
Can you see these fixtures?
Really, they got battered by Palace 4-0 as well in the Carabao Cup. I mean, not the Carabao Cup.
But that's the same. That's the same Palace that have just gone and drawn with City, though, isn't it? So.
No, I know, but look at that. They got battered, bro. Like, do you know what I mean? Like,
right, let's have a look. So, can you see these here?
Yeah, go on.
Everton, they've got West Ham away.
Yeah, so they lose that.
They've got Burnley away. Ooh. Now that is a game. 6th of April.
They'll probably lose that, man.
Yeah, but then they've got United at home. That's 3 points in the bag. Then they've got the joke.
Yeah, probably draw. Everton normally play well against United.
They might get points against United. Oh shit, my charger was it. Let's see who to go after that. Leicester at home.
See, these are tough games.
Liverpool away. Woo!
These are tough games, Tom.
Chelsea at home, Leicester away again, Brentford at home. But
yeah, they're looking to get their ass handed to them. I'm telling you. They're probably United beat Brentford.
Do you think any of them teams in that bottom four will lose every game left this season, or lose and draw, like go without a win until the end of the season? Like, do you think Everton will get another win before the end of the season? Because them teams at the bottom are being so bad this season that it's literally like, if one of those teams can win 2 games between now and the end of the season, that might be enough for some of them.
You not reckon, like, with Frank Lampard coming in and like maybe disrupting the dressing room a bit, like that can have an impact, like on, like, he's got playing some shit players in defense, bro. Like, obviously he might have a few injuries or whatnot, but if something's not working, you can't really see him changing it. And that, for me, I'm putting that down to he doesn't like certain mentalities. But
who's got options-wise at the back?
But like, so for example, so I pull out the team in it. So see that Michael Keane that he's got playing at the back.
Yeah, wasn't he United?
I'd rather get the fucking reserve goalkeeper and put him at the back. I'm telling you, bro. Like, he's dead, Tom. You watch him, you'll understand what I mean in it. Like, you're a footballer.
Yeah, I've seen he's slow. You know, they've got zero pace at the back. Yeah, like, that is a problem.
They've sold Luca Dean. They're just dreadful. And even that, they've got players like Richarlison and that will leave Everton. Best believe Richarlison will leave. I've seen him getting linked to Arsenal over the last couple of days. But I'm just trying to pull up their fucking back line.
I think if Lampard can get through to the summer, then we can give him a fairer assessment. If he is able to then go out and buy.
Yeah, he needs time. Don't get me wrong.
Because this isn't his team, is it? He hasn't really, he's bought a few players, but the back four, that's what he's got. That's what he's got to deal with, and so it seems like
Keane, Godfrey, Seamus Coleman, who's an old man now. You get me, bro? Like, he should not even be in that team,
right?
And then, like, his man, like, why is like
might as well have Leighton Baines still on the pitch.
Edward and that as well. Do you get me? Like,
yeah.
Trust me, man. That is a mad thing. You got Calvert-Lewin on the bench. You got Garrett Gray on the bench. They got shit players, man. They got real shit players.
I think it's only the back four that's bad enough to go down. I think the rest of their team is Premiership quality or better.
Shit,
Nah, I think
shit.
I think it's only their back four.
Doing it good.
Yeah, but you're comparing them to like Arsenal or City. Compare them to Norwich or compare them to Burnley, and say who would you take in that position? Who Everton have got, or who Burnley have got, or who Everton have got, who Watford have got. It's only the back four. Tony Hibbert. Yo, what about Graveston? Seeing as though this is the Baldy week.
Decent team, them as well. At times when they had a Tim Cahill and all of that. Like, I'm sure Seamus Coleman was in that team as well. David Moyes.
That's what I said. I'm sure he was playing with Leighton Baines. Leighton Baines is a pensioner now. That's what I'm saying.
And I'm sure he was the younger Leighton Baines as well, like his younger prodigy.
I feel like that Everton team was holding it down for the Ballheads as well, man. They had Tim Howard. They had didn't they have Lee Carsley or something as well? Weren't there another Ballhead in the middle?
Wow. Tim Howard, the American, isn't it? They didn't have Brad Friedel as well. You had Brad Friedel?
He was asking me. Brad Friedel. Look, we might have to do a throwback episode. Let me know what do you guys think in the comments. Should we do an episode at some point or some kind of content that's a bit more nostalgic? Looking back on all the players or old
Ballheads from the past.
Yeah, listen, I'll make an 11 of Ballheads and you'll have to make an 11 of something. And we'll go up against each other, see who's got the best Premier League team from the last 20 years.
Shit, I just forgot what I was trying to find then. But yeah.
But I think Everton will stay up. And this is what I'd always said. I think they'll stay up. I'm not gonna give them any more expectations than that for this season, but I think they'll stay up. And then I think if they stay up, Lampard will be able to go out in the summer and add to that team. And I think next season they'll finish in the top half. And then I think he'll be able to build from there. I just think that they've had a bad season this year, and sometimes a bad season just catches momentum. And now it's like, right, you just got to make sure you don't go down. Do you know what I mean?
No, I do hear it. I just feel like they're shit. And it wouldn't surprise me if they go down. I'm getting an
Everton fan on next week.
I'm just saying, yo, they're gonna come on here and say, yo, we're fucking shit. They're gonna give it like, trust me, I know what these are on. Trust me, these Everton fans, these are not happy with what's going on at their club, and they should be happy as well. They got big man Osmanov sitting there, man, trying to feed out peas left, right. It's just, bro, it's a madness what Everton's in. You got to think about it. They couldn't even really sign players in the summer as well because of the
there's a lot going on.
Club. Like, trust me, these are on a mad thing, Everton. It won't surprise me if they get relegated. Do you remember like how West Ham back in the day got relegated and everyone was surprised, Ross? West Ham got relegated. Like,
so if you had to put money on it today, who's going down?
If I had to put money on it, I would say
Norwich.
Let me just get the points up again just so I can calculate.
There's no way you're going to tell me Norwich are staying up. So
Norwich is definitely going down. They're giving it. I'm just talking about the last two teams. Yeah, Norwich. They are surprised they've not got an R next to their name already.
Maybe if they win every single game, there's a chance they can stay up.
I think Watford are going. I think Norwich are going, and I just have a feeling Burnley might slip out of it. They might, only because obviously I know it doesn't look good for him. They got 3 games in hand. They're on 21 points, 4 points, and they're out of the relegation zone. And they know how to grind out results, these Burnley lot, especially at home. I think they might have a better chance. I think Leeds got a new manager come in. They got a very important win against Wolves. So like they're looking like they're getting a bit of a fire up there.
So you're saying Norwich, Watford, and Everton to go down?
No, I'm not saying Everton. Like I'm saying, it wouldn't surprise me if they go down.
Yeah. So who are you going for, man? You've got to pick. You're in the bookies. Who's the third one? You're in the bookies. You've got to pick a third one. You've already given me Watford and Norwich.
Like peas on it.
Yeah, you put money on it.
Right, Norwich and Watford are definitely down.
Yeah.
I have a feeling if Brentford ain't careful, it can slip.
That'd be crazy if Brentford went down.
I know. It would be crazy, but I like to do crazy shit, so I'll say Brentford.
Brentford. Yeah, I'm saying the first two and then Burnley, I think. I wanted Burnley to survive.
Even though I think Brentford are better than Leeds and Everton, I don't know why. I'm probably just going on like with my casino brain, when you're at the roulette wheel and that, you're looking, you think,
start thinking, yo, if I double up on that one.
not your normal self.
Yeah.
Obviously, as it says, it looks like it's going to be them 3 that go down. But I just think there's a surprise somewhere in there.
Yeah. I hear that. It could happen.
Most definitely. What I'll just go on touch on United, Tom. They've got knocked out of the Champions League. They're down in like 6. What do you reckon's happening to them? Do you reckon that they've just give up on all hope and they're just down and out? Or do you reckon there's some hope for them to get that 4th spot? Because everyone's that I've been speaking to have wrote them off.
I think 4th's over, personally. I think 4th is over, not only because Arsenal and Tottenham both look too good to drop the amount of points they would need to drop for United to get back in there, but also just because I think that the problems that are happening over there are not that I just don't see any world in any timeline where United go on a run now and win 9 games on the bounce or something. I just can't see it happening. There's too much, again, to go back to what Steve was saying about rhythm. It's hard to build rhythm when there's just bare toxic bullshit going on at your club. Because even if you start to get a bit of rhythm, something's going to knock it out. Do you know what I mean? You'll get a couple wins under your belt and then you'll lose at home to flipping Norwich. And it'll be like a switch where everyone's back to saying, it's not good enough, manager's not good enough, players not good enough, get rid of them all, because it's always on that knife edge where you're always liable to go and put in a terrible performance. Like the amount of terrible performances United have put in this season. But then they've also had in between that wins and good performances and, come out and beat decent sides. But I think that for them to get that place, they would have to get some consistency. And I don't see how that's possible where they're at the moment. So I think 4th is a wrap. I think if they get 5th, that would be a success this season. I think 6th is the most realistic finishing point for them now, for me.
Yeah.
Are they still in the FA Cup? No, they're out of the FA Cup.
Got knocked out, didn't they, by Middlesbrough?
So they're out of the FA Cup. They didn't win the League Cup. They're out of the Champions League. Yeah, so their season's probably over now.
I just
Really.
want to answer this question, Tom, quickly. So, do you reckon Saka's contract will cause him to do better than he is, or will it break him? And then I'm guessing this is the second part of the question. See him in the jump of money from around 50k to 120k. I think Saka's a very educated person, and I think that he's very level-headed. I think his parents have brought him up well, and I don't think that money will change him personally.
I don't think you'll notice it. That someone will be managing his money that will make sure that extra money each month is going this thing or that thing. But I don't think he's going to suddenly be going and blowing 70 grand a week on strippers or something. Like, he doesn't seem that way inclined. So I agree with you. I don't think that it can go. I don't think it can go to his. Do you think players are hungry for money more than football?
Yeah, the City players.
I think Saka. First of all, Saka is at minimum £120,000 a week player.
Minimum.
If we're just talking about, we're not talking about whether it's right or not that players get this money or whatever. We're just talking about the marketplace. There are a lot of players. In fact, Saka is probably the best player in the Premier League on that amount a week. I won't be surprised if there's many. There's not going to be many players that are better than Saka that are on 120 grand a week. It's only because he's so young.
Yeah.
And his contract was already down at 50k a week, which is 50k a week is.
And you've got to think about it. That was a contract. He got a contract renewal a while back as well before this one.
So there you go.
And then he got bumped up to 50k, and then from there, but he's getting rewarded well, and he's rightly deserved. You get me? Because he's a bad man. It's an absolute.
I think it would be different if Saka was like suddenly like refusing to play because he wants more money or doing some stuff that's like disrupting his career. But if it's just a matter of the agent sitting down with Arsenal or Arsenal calling the agent more time because they're trying to be proactive and keep him sweet, this is what it should be happening. I don't know if it's what's happening, but I assume that if Arsenal's being run even half well, then they've approached Saka, not the other way around, to say, hey, can we bump up your contract and extend and put this in paper for a bit longer, and let's bump the number up and reflect who you know. That Arsenal are meant to come to him saying that, do you know what I mean, and show the intent. So if they do that, then what's he meant to do? No, I don't need the extra money. It's about the football. Keep it. Give it to your American owner who's probably going to spend it on bombs or something. Don't be daft. Do you know what I mean? Like, if that's what look at Aubameyang, he's doing from Arsenal to Barcelona, prime example, from not filling his role to now knocking him in. I think the Aubameyang situation isn't about money either. I think that's.
I think that was just down to pure happiness as well. Like, I think I don't think manager players see eye to eye. I think the move was best for both parties. Aubameyang clearly wasn't fucking kicking up curbs when he was at Arsenal over the last part of his career. Obviously, I think we all love him. It was a blow for him to leave. But I think it just come to that stage where the fans loved Aubameyang, where they wouldn't mind seeing him happy at Barcelona. Like that's the kind of like love they had for him. So. Like, I don't, and you got to understand, he respects the club. He didn't open his mouth once through the whole period of the time of all the issue. He wasn't getting played and everything. The guy didn't open his mouth once. I feel like we need to just go in and get a striker now. But yeah, we've done a little bit of speaking on Arsenal before. Just what finishing off on United. Just quickly.
Yeah, Tom. On a more serious point, I think I don't want to just sound like a broken record every week, just saying that they've got all of these problems and it's deeper than football and all the rest of it. But even though that is how I feel. But also, I guess the flip side is you could say that there's almost like no pressure for them now because the manager that's in isn't going to be here next season anyway. You know, the season's already a shit show. Nothing they can do now can make it better. If they, you know, except for maybe come fourth, but one, that's not really on the table, and two, even if they get fourth, it's not going to. People aren't suddenly going to be like, "That's a great season for United," because the expectations had been set so much higher. So maybe they will find a new kind of space, you know, within that group where they can just go out there and play football, and where the manager can start, you know, playing different players or trying different things that he didn't feel like maybe he could do when he was trying to hold on to the chance of getting further in the Champions League or the chance of this. Now maybe he can express himself a bit more and the players can express themselves a bit more, and we might see some positives for them to hold on to. But at the moment, I don't see anything positive in that situation over there. It's a shit show.
Shit show. Just what I say. Big up Kish. I told you he was a low-key Liverpool fan. Told you. What's his question? Liverpool on for the quadruple. You get me?
Yeah.
Obviously, I think he just weird it because I beat him 5-0 in FIFA.
Yeah. I mean, I think putting it on blast like that, Kish.
He beat me, innit? He beat me. I'm just winding him up, so just in case. But
you know what, Kish? Kish, we should be calling you now to get your take on the United game.
Soon, come man. When we got the proper setup, Bish, we'll get it on next week. We're gonna get a few different people on. Obviously, I do apologize, and we do because obviously we did thought we had to set up the right wire, but the wire was on a fuckery and fucked up.
Yeah, so I'll be getting double wires next week.
The whole situation. Get me?
Yeah.
Now, what do you reckon? Liverpool on for quadruple? Do you want to answer his question?
I mean, technically they are. Yeah, I don't think only quad LFC. I love it. No, I don't think they'll get the quadruple. But I think they could end up. They could end the season with more trophies than City. That's realistic.
No, most definitely, man. But yo, Tottenham, top. They're looking like they've found a little formula to get 2 games on the bounce victory. I think they're going to be our biggest problem for challenging for 4. Definitely, just like you said,
Tottenham are a weird one because again, a bit like Everton, not like Everton because it's, they're on a different level to Everton. But you look at their squad. I went through their squad the other day, my brother looking through the players, and I was like, oh my God, they got a lot of shit players in their starting 11, like shit guys that you would sub off on FIFA. Do you know what I mean? Before the game even started, shit guys.
You mean that you'll start selling as soon as you click on manager?
Yeah, 100%. Before you played the first game, they're out the door. So I think they're being dragged over the line at the moment by a top-class manager and a couple of top-class strikers, realistically. Do you know what I mean?
2 in it.
Yeah, and those 3 people are single-handedly just dragging them over the line. Because I guess it's interesting with Arsenal and Tottenham because they're very different in that sense. Like Arsenal, yes, they've got a couple of star players. Saka is a top player, you've got a few other players on the pitch that would make it into some top teams, but generally speaking, their success has more been built off the togetherness of the team, tactically, how the team's performing, lots of players that are maybe not world class, but are like on their come up and are performing at a high level, and together as a team, they're a force. Whereas Tottenham, it's kind of the opposite. It's more like there's a few stars that are kind of, like I say, dragging them over the line each week. So
Son, Kane, and Conte.
And the rest Conte, of them. Yeah, really. And then the rest of them's job is to just try and minimize your shitness. Like try and make your shitness not so shit that it makes life hard for us. Just do what you need to do. Do you know what I mean? So it'll be interesting.
What makes him dangerous, Sam? Trust me, believe that he's the guy. Like just fucking like I wanted him badly, man. Like man wanted him badly. That's why it vexes me because like
certain managers are just different.
Yeah, because he wins stuff for the now, innit, bro? He knows he ain't got 10 years in his locker left to manage on. He wants to win now, innit? And all I know is tomorrow's never promised. I want to be competing every year. Do you know what I mean? I know realistically right now it's not going to happen, but you get a manager like that, bro. He changed the whole dimensions of everything, man.
Yeah.
Like, fuck me, man. Look at Tottenham, how they like. So they wouldn't go and sign Bentancur and Kulusevski and players like that from Juventus. That was never going to happen if Conte didn't go.
It's that winning mentality as well, innit? I think I heard Trippier on a podcast the other day talking about Simeone. And obviously, my man had been managed by Poch before that, so it's not like he's never dealt with.
Did he say? I didn't even hear him.
He just said, he just said he gave you different interesting insights to Simeone. He clearly holds Simeone in a crazy high regard. But he was saying that year when they won the title last season or whenever it was, after Christmas, Simeone wouldn't say good morning anymore. He just said champions. Everyone said champions. Every staff just said to the players when they came in, they didn't say good morning, they just say champions. That's how they referred to him. Every member of staff, the cleaners, everyone in the building all had to wear Atletico like kit shirts every day at work. I swear to God, that's what he's saying. From the Christmas through to the end of the year when they won it, it was just they'd put pictures up of all the different players all around the hallways of the training facility, like pictures of when they were young in the youth teams, like just bare little touches that he'd done to just get them into a certain mentality where they really believed they could do it. And they'd done it. Yeah, and they've done it right at the very last. So I think some managers, they're just able to kind of set a certain vibe and mentality and tone within the dressing room and within the club that like other managers can't do, even if they did the same thing. Do you know what I mean? Because it's a combination of being geniuses and being respected for what they've already done.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And Conte has that. He's not only a genius and he's going to come in and tell you some shit as a Tottenham player that you've never thought of or never seen it like that before. And now you're like, oh my God, you've just opened up a whole new part of my game.
Is that with Conte? I feel like I know if he was an Arsenal manager, I would have to sacrifice the pretty football. But I'm willing to sacrifice the style of play. Like, I'm not saying shit football because I want to see good football. You get me? I'm not saying Conte plays shit football, but he plays a defensive style of football, doesn't he?
Yeah.
We're not used to that. We're used to an attacking style of football. So I know I'd have to sacrifice in that kind of sense. But you know he's a winner. You know he wants to win now. You know that if shit ain't going right at the top and he ain't getting what he wants, he's going to let the fans know and he's going to do one. So we know where we stand. Someone's not just going to sit there and feed us shit because that's what we want to hear, innit? Do you know what I mean? And that just shows you signs of successful clubs. You look at players like managers like Simeone. Look at him, bro. Like, he ain't going to tolerate no shit. Mourinho, successful manager. Fergie, these managers, only one was Wenger, who would sit there and hide everything for the club. You get me? So
it's the weight, it's the weight that your words hold as well, innit? So like, no matter how much Saka respects Arteta, and he seems like he does a good relationship, and Arteta,
I think all of them do.
Definitely respect him 100%. But no matter how much they respect him, if Arteta says to Saka, yo, you could win the Ballon d'Or one day, or you're gonna be the best player in the Champions League final this year, or whatever. Compared to if Conte comes into your club and tells Saka, you're one of the best players I've ever managed, you are a winner. The difference is you're actually a winner. You've actually managed top players. You've been in top games. So you saying that to me, it's not just like, it's like if your brethren can tell you every day, yo, you're a SMC, bro, you're gonna blow, you're dope, bro. It's great. But then when someone who's actually already famous or already big, or someone at radio, or someone who's actually got an understanding and been there and seen it and done it, tells you that, it holds a different kind of weight. Even if you respect your friend and their honesty more and know them better than this stranger that's telling you that, sometimes it's about what that person's achieved and how that fills the words with more strength. Do you know what I mean? And that's the only thing I can see from what you're saying about Conte. If Conte comes in there, you wonder whether some of these young players, if he's saying the right things.
Yeah, and I also believe he can attract certain players that makes the difference. Now, what you need to understand, when Arsenal was in the Champions League and we was there and thereabouts, when did we go and sign that Benzema, that Higuain, that fucking Cavani, when we've been close many times? We end up signing players like Snogo and this person and that person. Yeah. And that's because towards the back end of Wenger's career, many top players knew that Arsenal was on a decline. And that was evident, where if a Conte came into Arsenal Football Club and he rang my phone and I was a professional footballer, I ain't really thinking twice, you know what I mean? Like, it's just connections, in it. Like, sometimes people say it's fucking, it's who you know in it, it's not what you know in it. And that sometimes that saying is true, bro. Like, in this football game, especially, we know bare brown envelopes are getting tucked under people's doors and shit, bro. Nothing like this is probably one of the most corruptest things in the world, probably football. We just don't see it. And it's true. Look at with everything that's going on right about now. You know that there's seriously corruption there. That's why they're all trying to put all these implementations in place right now.
Yeah, of course.
But yeah, we've hit an hour, people. Tom,
yeah,
next episode back.
It feels good. I feel good, man. I think we're gonna be keeping it consistent at this time on a Tuesday now, aren't we? This is the goal is to stick Tuesday at 8 o'clock every week. So just for the people them there, we're gonna set that in stone.
No more fuckeries.
No more fuckeries. We're gonna have the proper wires for the call-ins next week, so we can do some more phone-ins, and we'll prepare that with a bit more time in advance. And it's good to be back, man. It's good to be chatting with people
as well. We've hit 2,000 subscribers. It's a new achievement. Big up to you lot. Thank you to everyone as well that likes, shares, comments, gets involved with the chat, shows myself love, Tom love. Honestly, big up. It is really much appreciated. Like I said, we don't do this full time. It's a hobby of ours. So we respect everyone's opinion, and we got our own opinions. Obviously, if you guys want to get involved on the show, drop me a message on Instagram, or Tom a message on Instagram, and we'll get you involved on the show. But yeah, if you've got anything else to say to the people before we go?
Nothing else, man. Just have a good week. Enjoy the sunshine. Let's all hope that City and Arsenal win and Liverpool and United lose.
And, peace and love, people. Bye.
Blessings.